Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is HOTD, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 4. Let's check it out instantly. Let's go. Uncut on Patreon. Link in the description. Let's go. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Oh, didn't change at all. I guess last episode was more of a build-up, no like crazy historical events happen. I bet some shit's gonna happen after this one.
Yeah, like they're not gonna embroider Rhaenyra in her nun outfit talking to Alicent.
They should.
A loose rock just falls on him and he dies.
I don't think this is Harrenhal. I think this is the throne room in King's Land. Is he in another dream instantly?
He's tripping out.
What?
Is Rhaenyra talking?
I can't understand. Stop.
Amelia Alcock Sims are not going to be happy about this one.
There's been a raven.
Oh God.
Mario Grace.
Wait, is the blood just gone instantly?
I trust.
That's
As I said,
crazy.
there's been a raven.
I love that.
Aegon's army departed King's Land.
He left his door open?
Host of rivermen. It will not be ready in time to face him.
Is this supposed to be like a sacrificial thing, or is there a symbol behind that, or is it just this castle sucks?
My prince, my grace, your grace.
Who is it?
Lord Grover is looking more hale and healthy than I expected.
This is Oscar Tully, grandson to Grover Tully. He is heir to Riverrun and the future Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. His Grace, the King Consort Daemon Targaryen.
It is an honor, your grace.
Indeed. How fares your grandsire?
Sadly, he remains incapacitated.
So he's alive.
Yes, gods be good.
Well, my time is short and I have need of an army. Perhaps you might place a feather pillow over his head and speed about your inheritance.
What happened to they should serve their lord no matter
my
what?
Grandsire. My own lord father died suddenly, himself a young man. Lord Grover raised me in his stead.
All very touching. Are you here to speak with your grandsire's voice for House Tully in the Riverlands?
While he still lives?
No, he's saying like,
That's
why?
not our way.
Then you're of no use to me.
Yeah.
I can see why the Blackwoods and the Brackens did not fear to start a war beneath the nose of their liege lords. House Tully is a fish with no head.
It was House Bracken that declared green, your grace.
Who could remember? Summon the Blackwoods here. I require men of action to lead my host of rivermen.
They're all dead, sir.
See those dogs?
Oh, I feel bad for that kid.
Just trying to do his best. Well, like, to be fair, it's like there was no way he could win unless he was unless he was, I guess, craven would be the word, treasonous towards his grandfather. Because he can't act, you know, he can't just like summon the Riverlands to his aid instantly. So.
Milady.
Princess, for holding to formalities.
So she does know.
Princess.
And you are Alan.
Yes, Princess.
I'm given to understand my lord husband owes you his life. But I was not told his saviour was so comely. Your mother must have been very beautiful.
Very nice.
Oh, it's sad.
That's really sad.
She sees him in his face instantly.
Is your work finished? No, my lord.
That's so sad.
It's so sad for her too, because she probably sees her own son in him too, right?
I just had a word with your captains. He was the sailor who plucked you from your watery grave.
Yes.
And she's gonna be pissed.
Did not think to mention it.
I did not think it relevant.
I know who he is, Corliss. Alan's past is no fault of his. He saved his lord's life. He should be raised up and honoured, not hidden beneath the tides.
This is why you came.
Oh,
To subject me to an inquisition.
that's not what I thought she would think of that.
I came to tell you that Baylor has called me
W.
to
Rainey's.
Dragonstone.
Where has that woman gone?
I suspect to try and draw us all back from the abyss.
Wow. I did not expect that to be... I thought she was going to be way more Catelyn Stark about it, but she is...
She thinks she's probably about to die, and she's like, you know, fuck, sort your own shit out.
like a longing as well, in general.
As requested. I brewed it myself.
Thank you. I will see it delivered discreetly.
Right.
Grand Maester, you've ever been a practical man, an honourable servant to the crown, and you served my lord husband in his darkest hours.
Such was my duty, Your Grace.
Must be trustworthy.
Tell me, do you believe Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him?
What do you think he's gonna say?
I could not know. His Grace never raised the matter with me.
That's not really what she was asking.
It is difficult to say, but there were signs of an army moving northwest, I believe.
She believes.
You should have burned them when you had the chance.
Perhaps you can, Sir Alfred, when you next sight them on your dragon.
Somewhere in the vastness of the Crown Lands. We could perhaps act if only we had a host of our own, or someone here to lead us.
I think you do in the
Mind your
north,
tongue, Sir Alfred.
thanks to this young man.
Speak forcefully, my prince.
Or on their way.
Is rudderless.
I'm doing my best to steer it, Sir Alfred.
Why should your voice be any louder than ours, princess? The Queen did not name you hand.
Do you know...
It is her voice and that of the King Consort that we need to raise alliances and command our vassals. But they are gone.
What has come of this council?
Oh, there we go. Master of ships.
A man. I can be respectful now.
Our enemy, is there naught to be done in the absence of the Queen but to grouse and claw for power?
Love this guy. Oh boy, what is this now?
That was all Christian Cole's guys rolling in.
Back your honor by raising his banner and fighting in his name against the whore of Dragonstone.
Jesus.
Is there no honor left in this world, Cole? Sacking your queen's own castles and putting up people to the sword? Kingmaker. You're not fit for the White Cloak.
It's a little too
This
close
is a
to
better
home.
death than a traitor deserves. You should thank me for it. Yours will come in kind.
I realize you were neither born nor bred anywhere near the Crown Lands, my good Lord Hand. But Harrenhal is to the west.
Indeed it is.
Fuck you. I told you we should have sent our dragons, and now look what's happened. Daemon, of all people, has taken Harrenhal.
Like, basically
I
cut them
took
off
the
with
job,
Harrenhal.
And now you just sit there. It's your fucking castle!
Well, that castle is more crippled than I am, Your Grace. It's like to drive Daemon to madness as he attempts to make use of it. Which is beyond
That's why they
fact.
wanted Harrenhal's, because it cuts off everything, all the Lannisters to the west as well.
The false queen remains trapped on her island, and Sir Criston continues felling castles in the Crown Land.
Yeah.
He's heading up northeast to the coast, so they can't
I need to be informed
swoop around
of these things.
to the
If
Vale.
I'm to make informed rulings, I will not be made to look a fool in front of my allies and enemies.
Harrenhal must wait. Sir Criston is marching on Rook's Rest.
Rook's a pathetic prize. I gave no thought.
He sent out something to him, told him to
Be
do that.
defended, and Lord Staunton sits on Rhaenyra's council.
I think he's just reading
After
him.
Cole smashes it, we'll have Dragonstone effectively cut off by land.
Yeah.
Its war will not
Go
go
up
on
a side.
with dragons alone, but with dragons flying behind armies of men.
No, have him turn about. I want Harrenhal back.
Cole is already preparing his attack.
How do you know this?
He sent word to me.
Oh, you're right.
To you? Plotting. Without my authority.
Gaumaus ne hortami repagon aeopeopolis. Ston cotapri predagon. Rosia potaule de repagon. Silvotaromi sirto mitiri piti vetogon.
This is when you tell everybody to leave.
ROOK'S. Audli non gieri, Jumbi.
The maester knows what they're saying.
Luxicoston vividus segiton biligasni.
Oh.
Harrenhal is a useful morass. It will keep Damon well occupied while we strengthen our host and weaken Rhaenyra's support on the mainland. We will deal with it in the Riverlands in time. Rook's Rest is an easy target. And a worthy effort. Don't you agree, my king?
He really was good at making himself look like he feels small there at the end. Just like look the way he's just kind of.
No matter how suited he thought Rhaenyra for the crown, the voices of history, as you say, would have told him how the realm would react to her
It's
succession.
impossible to know what steered his thoughts in those final hours.
Do you now doubt his intentions?
Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what they wish. And so will Aegon's. The war will be fought. Many will die. And the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
A worthy justification.
Yeah.
Your Grace. It's the truth, but only in the aftermath of the mistake that was made.
What a terrible place.
More crazy dreams. Oh, are they getting raided at night?
Is he hallucinating again?
Oh my god. I didn't think we'd keep getting more of this.
Really messing with him.
Is that Viserys? Oh, no, that's Aemond.
Mm-hmm.
What? Is he doing the... He's doing the face, too. He's mewing like Aemond.
It's a touch late to be stalking about a strange castle putting its people to the sword.
You.
I'm called Alice.
Strong?
Rivers.
Bastard.
Once you get to know me, you'll find I'm not so bad.
So what are you then? Some kind of maester?
In a manner of speaking. I inherited the duties after the last one fled in the night.
Fled? Why?
Just never settled in.
A maester fled? A maester fled?
In the middle of
the night. In the face of tortured rest well enough. Sleep can be thin in this place.
What would you know of my sleep?
Harrenhal's been cursed since its first stone was laid.
What are you licking?
Since the first storm.
Weirwood trees that grew on these lands.
Right.
Heart trees imbued with the spirits of those who lived long before he came. Oh, the very bed you sleep in was made from such a heart tree.
Time to switch beds.
Of note?
You are a strange kind of woman.
I'm no woman at all. I'm a barn owl, cursed to live in human form.
That face.
You come here after quarreling with your wife.
What?
Do you now plan to make your own claim? Perhaps to prove yourself,
Do not try me with your insolence, witch.
It's a hard thing, I imagine, to give obeisance to one who replaced you as heir. And a woman, too, a girl child you bounced on your knee.
Don't say that.
Does it please you that her legitimacy is contested as you stand here with a castle and a dragon, attempting to draw an army of men? Here, drink this.
What is it?
God.
You're just gonna drink it, sir?
Sleep. She win this place to your side.
What is that? Giving him drugs? Is that is that Jojen paste?
Pay for their treachery
Blackwood.
And against the crown.
Who are you?
Sir William Blackwood of House Blackwood, Your Grace. As I said.
Well
Maybe
met.
it's time to go home.
Well met in the middle of a conversation.
It was you who summoned me, Your Grace. I was given to understand that you wanted an army.
Well, who doesn't these days? Blackwood certainly never miss a chance to bloody your swords.
That was wife. His second wife.
Your Grace. And once you and your dragon bring the Queen's justice to the Brackens, our armies will be yours.
Right.
Our lords in the Crown lands are
Fidget
grousing.
spinner.
The herds of livestock.
You bore me. You all bore me.
Okay.
Really commanding respect right now.
I think he got mogged by his mewing brother, and now he's just kind of like feels like that's the real battle to be fought.
Kristen will be able to proclaim.
What are you doing here?
Where are your father's books?
I ordered them removed.
With no thought to the centuries of knowledge in those pages.
At least she's doing her double checking the work.
Yeah.
I didn't burn them.
She's not just like, doesn't matter. She's
Mhm.
actually.
They don't care what I think.
She just has to know. Like, she already knows, but she feels like she has to
My
know.
counsel.
What thoughts would you have?
I'm the king.
Do you think simply wearing the crown imbues you with wisdom?
Oh man. What's
Those
Allison's
men
counsel?
At your council table earned their seats. It was my hope that be silent and strive to learn from the more studied minds around you, in the hope that you might be half the king your father was.
Tread carefully.
Or what? You'll hang me as you did your rat catchers. I ruled in your father's absence throughout his long illness, and Otto Hightower was as cunning a statesman as ever lived. You should humbly be seeking our opinions and counsel. You have no idea the sacrifices that were made to put you on that throne.
What would you have me do, Mother?
Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
What?
Wow.
She's resentful of him because all the guilt's on her shoulders, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's not even making good on it.
It's like she sacrificed so much, and it's her fault, but it's also just for nothing, because if he was better, then it would have at least been for something, you know?
Yeah, but it's like she's also displacing those feelings
Yeah.
onto her or onto him. So like what she's feeling could be valid, but at the end of the day, she's just kind of projecting because it's just too much. Very interesting character stuff.
We shall move now and strike by day. They will not expect it.
They will not expect it
Try
because
it.
of his fucking madness.
Oh, listen to him.
Did you
He's so
forget the little
smart.
encounter we had on the road to Rosby?
I did not.
Dragonstone and their dragons are just across the bay. What, grown tired of living, have you?
He's been talking with
afraid
Aemond. Aemond's coming.
Worse. I'm rational.
That's why they're
He
going during the
can
day.
leave.
They have their own dragon. He's been talking to Aemond. I love, by the way, that his horse has like the little fucking unicorn horn from like the Faith of the Seven. Like it's like a heavenly horse type thing. But yeah, fuck. If they're getting that brazen on the coast right next to Dragonstone with all of the dragons.
Just waiting. Yeah.
And he's been talking to Aemond.
Report the war that your vassals have been fighting in your absence, Your Grace.
Excuse.
host has grown since riding abroad.
Did she still have her little nun hat?
She just got back.
Where have you been? You vanished without so much as a word.
Oh boy.
I apologise for my absence and the secrecy, but such was necessary. I went to King's Landing
You're just gonna tell them?
What possible end?
to meet Queen Alicent and sue for
What the fuck are you talking about, Rhaenyra? It didn't work. Just leave it.
I inherited 80 years of peace from my father.
Before I was to end it, I needed to know that there was no other path.
Why are you telling them this? It makes you look
They don't
so
need to
bad.
know.
Only one choice remains to me. Either I win my claim or die.
We stand at the ready.
Cole knows we have no army on the mainland.
He is brazen.
He is daring us to act.
We need to send a dragon.
They're that close to King's Landing. They have scorpions there. 100%.
There are those who have mistaken my caution for weakness. Let that be their undoing. I will go.
My queen.
Cannot. Our allies raise their banners for you, Mother.
Yes, they do.
If you die, all is lost. Send me.
No.
I will burn Cole's lines and withdraw before King's Landing could even
You lack
raise
the
alarm.
experience.
You must send me, Your Grace.
This is a good option.
Melis is your largest dragon and no stranger to battle.
It's the best. It is the
Yes.
best option. It's 100%.
I will meet Cole.
She's not making it back. She's not making it back. It's the only choice to make. Bayla's too inexperienced, or Dragon's too small.
Yeah.
Damon's gone. Yeah. She's the only logical choice. But if she does die, that's a fucking huge hit to them. Kind of shitty that Rhaenyra didn't even get to say yes, go. You know, when Rhaenys took the power from her in that way, and it was righteous and everything, but Rhaenyra should have at least given her...
had the final say.
Yeah.
This is not boding well, I don't think.
What are you doing now, man? Are you going to the dragon pit?
If he...
I wish only to fight for you. For your claim and mine.
There's something I need to tell you, Jason.
Oh.
Secret. That Viserys told me when he named me his successor. And it has passed from king to heir since Aegon the Conqueror's time.
Bro,
Are you fucking
what are you
serious?
Doing?
Ooh, the pauldrons look so sick. Oh, the full suit looks incredible.
Because I was unsure that I believed it myself. Who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king
wasted.
Ordained to lead the Seven Kingdoms, to strengthen them.
That's so sad.
Rook's Rest.
Viserys chose me to succeed him.
I hope at least Kristen Cole dies as well, if we're losing Rhaenys.
But to unite the realm I had. That is why I must believe what Viserys told me when he named me his heir. And what I will now tell you.
She's got the crown on and everything.
He called it the Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Is it Aegon, though?
All is going to plan.
He thinks it's Vhagar, right? Oh, Vhagar's just chilling in the back?
But how could Vhagar couldn't leave without anyone noticing?
Maybe they could in night, crawling, not flying. Oh, Melis. What's the bet that they have a scorpion set up in the trees over there?
Maybe they do have a scorpion. That's what he's calling for.
Yeah.
And they're hoping to take out a dragon.
No, yeah, they got Vhagar out of there.
Oh shit!
Slowly and under cover of darkness, they waited.
Just leave. Just leave. Just fucking. Oh my god. But if Aegon shows up, this is gonna really.
Wait, is he gonna actually kill his brother?
If Aegon's drunk and flying around.
And Vhagar's bloodthirsty. This is fully on Aemond. If Aegon dies here, fully on it. Well, maybe that's what he wants, right? Maybe he was goading him into that the whole time.
He could blame it on her, but he'd have to kill all of the people.
If Vhagar doesn't show up, the only people who know about Vhagar being there are Cole and a few others.
Oh, maybe Vhagar doesn't show up.
If Vhagar doesn't do anything now because Aegon's there and Sunfire.
Jesus. Jesus Christ. It would have
my
been crazy if
fucking-
Rhaenyra was here too. If it was Aegon versus Rhaenyra, that would have been insane.
This was your secret locker.
No.
The king himself to lay hands and they have died.
And he's shaking his head, but he doesn't say no. He doesn't say no. Just go with it.
He's like, fuck.
This is terrible. I fucking like Aegon now. He went. He himself went to the field of battle.
I mean, if Aegon dies, honestly, even better, kind of, in a way, for Aemond. Oh my god.
This is crazy. And Cole doesn't deny it. He's like, he's not showing up. Why would he? Aegon dies. He's king.
And but I'm still not sure, but like,
is she gonna kill Aegon and then?
I mean, Aegon's never like fought
No.
before.
Oh!
Oh, she's way bigger.
Yes. Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh, and you see the smoke?
Holy shit!
The smoke from the fucking fire gland! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That's a killing blow. The burning hot fucking dragon blood.
Holy shit!
Aw.
But then Vhagar could still come in and take her down and look like
In
a
revenge,
hero,
yes.
and he could say
here
that
it
he
is.
left. Oh no, she should just run.
Vhagar's gonna blow up Rook's Rest after. Yeah.
Oh no.
We must get you to cover, my lord.
There's no taking cover from that.
There's no taking cover. Especially in the show canon where Dragonfire explodes buildings.
Oh no.
That's terrifying. More like a dinosaur
And
than a dragon.
So quiet
Yeah.
too. Just like, oh my god. Sounds like a whale almost, like that, like a low rumbly.
Is there a chance Aegon's alive?
I mean, if
He flew low to
could
the
grab-
ground.
Well, it was flying up last time, but Vhagar could grab his dragon.
Oh.
Fuck.
Is
look,
Vhagar just gonna
look.
destroy both of them?
Oh no. Well.
Holy fuck, this is crazy, dude.
Thank the gods. I don't know. Oh no.
Really?
Oh,
No fucking way. Is he still there?
no. Yeah.
The Valyrian armor might have shielded him.
But if he falls.
If he falls. Yeah. There's a chance. There is a chance. It's a very slim chance. Oh, she's
Fuck.
done.
And what can she do?
Maybe Meleys is faster?
She could, but like if she flew back, she'd just be damning them all. She has to
She
stay,
has to
'cause
try.
or else she's sacrificing all of the other dragons.
The other dragons could help.
They can't. Too bad everyone didn't know that Vhagar was fucking here. And they could attack.
I mean, Massaria would have known if it was possible to know, so. So much
Imagine
bigger.
being down there. How fucking.
Is it possible for her to win?
Oh. Oh my god.
Did that get her? Oh!
Oh my god.
Rhaenys is a fucking beast. That looks so crazy, them like twirling in the sky.
They're trying to like death spiral. Oh my god.
And they're locked, one town's locked, so they can't even, they might just both go down.
Oh! Oh!
Vhagar let go to land.
Yes.
There's no way he dies there. There's no fucking way.
I'm like shaking.
That was insanity.
All these guys just get crushed by fucking Vhagar.
Collateral damage. How deep was that wound? It didn't look like it was enough, but Vhagar's old as shit.
Oh no.
No.
Oh.
She looks okay.
Yeah, but. Oh.
She turned back around. She's gonna finish the fight.
She up there.
On the cliff? Where's
gonna-
Vagar? It's too smoky. Get altitude. Like, why are you going that close to the ground? It's gonna be the
Down
same
the
shit.
cliff, yeah.
Same shit she tried. Yep.
Oh my god.
They make it look so painful.
Oh.
Poor Maelys. Into the castle! Aemond, you sick fucker. And by sick fucker, I mean brilliant strategist. We're looking at the literal king,
Yeah.
or soon to be, if Aegon is...
Like, if he was alive
You
somehow,
saw the dragon
like,
just turn. You saw the dragon just turn and land on the belly, but there was an explosion.
oh.
It's cold.
Yeah.
I think it's possible Aegon's alive, but like, it would have to be a fucking miracle. All the ash.
Oh.
Let's at least get confirmation on Aegon.
Follow me, must find him.
Jesus. That might be my favorite fight in the whole series. Is there any possibility he's alive?
Even if he was, he'd
be
have to
melting.
be so fucked up.
The only thing I'm thinking is that if there was like an explosion, I mean there was, we see the fire, but like the Valyrian steel armor might.
They did make a big show of that.
It was open though, like I don't, I don't know. Oh, he was gonna sheath his sword.
Where's his grace?
He's probably
It's
half
gonna be
melted
disgusting.
on the dragon.
It's just the armor.
Oh. Fuck. What a disaster. What a fucking disaster. He just wanted to redeem himself in the end. What do you think now, Allison? What do you think now? She gave him shit and then he went out and killed himself.
Hey, he should have listened to her. If he did nothing, he would have been fine.
Yeah, but... Oh, man.
That's fucking crazy.
Jeez Louise. Wow.
That was crazy.
Incredible. That was beautiful. That's incredible TV right there. Oh my god.
It's amazing. Like I also feel like it really shows into perspective how just like the size of the dragons.
Yeah.
It's like Aegon comes in and then when Maelys is there, it's just like, oh, his dragon's pretty. I mean, it's big, but it's not that big, you know. It's like you can tell that hers is like way. And then Vagar comes in and it's just like,
it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even think the difference between Maelys and I'm sure everybody's like watched a bunch of TikToks about comparing the size of the dragons or just read the books and knows all of that, but you know, I was surprised the small dragons were as small as they were. And so, but to see how much larger Maelys is than Sunfire is it's really interesting to see. Sunfire looks like such a cute dragon.
Yeah.
Sunfire looked like such a nice dragon.
Sunfire and Maelys both like when they just looked Like, they look so good, you know? Like, they're so cute.
I mean, they're terrible beasts.
I know.
But still, like, you can see the...
But they love their
Yeah.
people, you know?
Yeah. I like that they showed off the connections of their dragons.
Like, yeah.
The personal connections.
When Melis is, like, looking back at her, you can just tell that she really cares about her. It's so sad.
And I liked, even though Aegon was drunk when he went to go see Sunfire, you could see the love between them, even though Aegon probably has not visited Sunfire in a long time.
Yeah, it's you can got the sense that he hasn't seen her in a long time.
It's almost like I like it because with the Harrenhal magic shit, they're showing the sort of supernatural bond between them.
It's like they like click.
Yeah, it's like as soon as Sunfire shows up, Aegon's having like the worst time of his life right now. And it's only gonna get worse, but he sees Sunfire and has a smile on his face. And I think that's like, it's heartwarming in that moment, even if it's just for one shot in a montage while Rhaenyra is talking. Like, I just like how they emphasize that. I really felt it. I really felt like it's crazy the turnaround they did for Aegon. Aegon is perhaps the most it's hard to say the worst character because he, like Joffrey, was sort of he didn't have the life experience or the knowledge of the world to know how the depth of how bad he was being. Like he knows, you know, it's like I'm not like he knows that what he does is bad, but because it's so permitted for him, like he has.
It's like no one ever told him not to do that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it an excuse to do it.
But it's like, yeah, so like there are characters who are more evil than him, but it's like the specific acts that he does of like specifically with his bastard children, like sharpening their teeth, or like, you know, putting them in this in that fighting ring in Flea Bottom, like, or not. I guess he didn't put him in there, but he didn't rescue them, I guess, or he like bet on their victory or loss, like, you know, that type of shit. And he definitely knew. There's no mistaking seeing stuff like that. Like the depths of his terrible deeds are so bad that it, like, in my opinion, they're like unforgivable, the types of things that he's done, and, you know, rape and all that stuff on top of all of that. But like which is also unforgivable, obviously. But it's, you know, he's done, my point is he's done such terrible things that I would not have expected to see him take charge in his final moment. He's finally he's trying to seize control. It's stupid, but so was Rhaenyra going to King's Landing.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, so.
And Rhaenyra literally tried to go. Like, she tried to pull the same move that Aegon just did.
And I like that because, like, the show, you know, the story, the way that they're telling it here is a lot more skewed, as a lot of people have pointed out, morally speaking, in the favor of Rhaenyra and her side. They're like, they're both sides are terrible. If there was a moral side based on the way that the show, from the lens of the production, they clearly have presented Rhaenyra in all the background things that were not in, you know, detailed in like the vague history that we knew beforehand. She is like the hero of the story. So for her to try and do that stupid move, and then for him to actually do it, and it's just as stupid, but like.
But I guess it's also the difference of like the respect for the people that around her is that she gets counseled by like a sort of motherly figure. Don't do that. And like at the same time, Aegon, obviously a bunch of other people already told him not to do that. But like his mom just told him like, don't do anything. I mean, she said it super disrespectfully in a way that clearly spurred him on to do that.
Yeah.
But it's the thing of like, he had a really hard time to respect other people and listen to what they're going to do. He was worried about like what they were going to think about him and stuff.
Yeah.
But Rhaenyra knows that Rhaenys was right and that she shouldn't go. It's stupid for her to go. She wanted to go, but, you know, she was able to hold back, which is a good thing because she would have died.
Yeah. But yeah, all that's true. But the point of me bringing that up is like, you know, because they always show Rhaenyra as like the quote unquote hero, and then Aegon is like, you know, the green side is a lot more kind of bankrupt, you could say. Mm-hmm. For Rhaenyra to have that instinct, not follow up on it, but then for him to do it, I think it shows that like this is sort of a completion of his sort of character arc in a way. And I it's just,
yeah,
I didn't expect myself to be kind of on his side at the end. It's just such a,
well, it's also like when you put, it's like
conflicting thing for me, because I hated this fucking guy.
And also, it's like when you put him up against Rhaenys, and she's like so good, like one of the top, just like good
but
characters.
Also killed all those people in King's Landing. But the show seems to have forgotten about that, so let's forget about it, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, again,
it's like them together, and you're like, oh no, this is a terrible situation. But then you also have Aemon and Vhagar coming in, and it's just like, then that's like creates a third party thing where you're like, oh no, he's gonna kill both of these people that are like really fighting hard in this moment. That was crazy how Vhagar was just like
in the
like
bushes.
Camouflaged into the bush. And I loved Kristen Cole just the when he thought
Gawain was like, is this your secret plan, Cole? And he's like, no, he was about to say, no, this wasn't, but he's just like, he keeps it on his chest, because if he says, like, he's gonna take
it's crazy.
It's classic Cole behavior of doing terrible shit, like play stupid games, win incredible prizes.
Yeah, his classic thing. And I mean, like, a lot of people would see that as not very good, but also I think, you know, within time, people would think that Aemond is a great king because he actually has the ability to make competent decisions.
Yeah.
In a way that Aegon just simply
and he has the biggest dragon.
He has the biggest dragon.
If he had Sunfire, this plan would not have gone the same way. But no, you know, that's part of it, is that he has like the spirit of the Targaryen king in him, type thing.
And you know, he had the ability to make all these secret plans with Kristen Cole. Like, none of this would have went down. And if he hadn't been making this plan with Kristen Cole, then Aegon would have just got killed by Meleys. And Rhaenys would have just taken back off after killing Kristen Cole and his whole entourage over here.
She would just fried the whole forest,
And then it would have been for nothing, you know. That's... I feel like I'm still just shocked.
Yeah, me too. Like, on that note of being shocked, I like that they held back on the battles. Like, that's been a conversation with like the Blackwood Bracken and like, and the sieges that we saw that were just completely skipped over. We see Gawain and Cole just fucking like covered in blood and bodies strewn about. I thought that it was like at River Run, because River Run's next to like a big river, obviously. But no, they haven't gone that far, obviously, because that was the whole point of taking Harrenhal anyway. So the show is like very much holding back on the battles until, and it's maybe a budget thing because these are dragon battles and they probably cost a lot of money, but I think it's also an artistic thing because it makes these hit so much harder, and these are the battles that, you know, have a character element to them, you know, like they're showing, the reason this was shown is obviously because like so many of the more characters were involved, and it was the completion of Aegon's character arc. This was incredible. This is definitely top fights of the Game of Thrones show universe. And maybe the best one, you know. So good.
And just even, like, in terms of emotional investment, and, like, the fact that I feel like a lot of times in, like, a heavy battle, you know, it's guys clashing with swords and we're just jostling around, mud and blood's flying all over the place, and it's like, I feel like in this, with the element of the dragons, it narrows it so much down to the main characters, and then all of the people fighting on both sides are just, like, almost turned into just bystanders of the fight that are just getting killed, and it just shows how pointless they even are in, like, this war of dragons. It's just, like, these guys are, like, warriors. They have come through and defeated, like, 5 or 6 other places along the way, and they're just victorious, and then they just get scorched, and they're like melted
Dust.
and
They're
literal
dust
dust.
in their armor.
It's crazy.
I'm honestly surprised from a battle tactics moment. I know that Rhaenys, first of all, the dragon scales here look incredible. I just want to say that. This might be practical. Maybe that's what that is. Probably not, but maybe. I'm surprised that Rhaenys didn't see this coming, because it's exactly how she entered the battle. She went on the cliff and then came up behind Rook's Roost to shield her approach, and it was a very strong move. And that was like her entire entrance was based on her entire battle strategy was based on that entrance essentially. So I'm kind of surprised, but like, what else was the show gonna do type thing? You know, like how else would Vhagar be hidden? You know, so like, there's two things. It's like, I feel like Rhaenys should have had the wherewithal to, oh, I can't see anything, and I'm going directly towards the one place a dragon could hide, being that my dragon hid there. I should go up in the sky and try to gain some perspective on the whole thing, even if I'm going to attack. But instead, you know, she just goes low to the ground, directly over where she entered, and the one place that Vhagar could be hiding. So, from a, you know, outside perspective, like with disregarding the whole character element and that Meleys is like accepted death or is, you know, given in essentially, aside from the emotional stuff, which does matter more, I am kind of like, there's kind of a, you know, how could she make that mistake? But the show, how else were they going to do that? You know, you know what I'm saying? So
it's crazy how loyal the dragons are to, like, Meleys to Rhaenys. It's like she, like, the dragon knows that it's being asked to die, essentially, to go up. Like, when she, like, Rhaenys is just like, okay, what am I gonna do? I have to attack and at least try to do something. And she listens, and it's just so interesting. And I feel like in a little bit of a contrast to, I feel like her, like, complete mastery of Meleys and just having, like, they're so in sync.
The bond, yeah.
Meanwhile, Vhagar is obviously way bigger, but she also has a lot more of a mind, like
a mind of her own.
Mind of her own. Where
she's had multiple riders in the past,
and she also has, like, even in this episode, like, she sees Aegon's dragon and is so bloodthirsty that she's like, oh, now? Now I get to kill another dragon? And then he's like, no, and she listens, but we also know that in the heat of the moment, she's not necessarily going to listen.
Yeah.
If she was a smaller dragon, like, the whole point is that she's a bigger dragon, but if she was smaller and the positions were reversed and Aemon was like, oh, go and sacrifice yourself for what I want to do, you know, her instincts might... You know, she just has a little bit more free will, I guess.
Yeah. Well, with Vhagar, it's interesting with Aemon and Vhagar in terms of will and stuff, because obviously we've talked about it a lot. Everybody has for the last 2 years about Luke and Vhagar killing Luke without Aemon's permission. But what am I looking for here? I was looking for that. Or I was looking for Vhagar killing Aegon. Or firing on Aegon. But what's interesting is Aemon's disregard and acceptance of kinslaying. Obviously, they just had this whole bully arc with Aegon and Aemon last episode, and leading up to this, I think for this moment, as kind of a, look, this is, you know, your past actions have come back to haunt you type thing. But what's interesting is Aemon, how he goes from accidentally killing his nephew? Yeah. To on purpose trying to kill his brother.
But
like,
the thing
clearly,
is
like he was caught in the crossfire,
Yeah.
but these shots imply that he is taking the opportunity to do this and leaning into Vhagar's bloodlust and disregard for people.
Yeah.
Leaning into the fire and blood type Targaryen shit. So, and it's also because that seal was broken. I think that if Vhagar didn't kill Luke and he hadn't taken responsibility for that already, he wasn't already labeled a kinslayer, he wouldn't have maybe done this. maybe he would have, because there's a lot of
also-
other cogs turning, like, with the whole bullying and all that shit. But
Well, because it's like if Aegon was better, then he would have never done. You know, it's kind of you know. Obviously, Aemon and Daemon are different, but it's like the whole thing of Viserys was really good. So, you know, like there's not that thing, but
they have that love for each other. Yeah, they're like.
But
Aemon
here,
and
it's
Aegon
like
are,
the love is like lost, and
they have it's like a darker reflection of their brotherly relationship.
And with the whole thing of Aemon just being completely fluent, even though he's the younger brother. And he comes in, and obviously we know that Rhaenyra and Daemon and all of these like older people can all speak it, and it's just like they just know it. But the fact that Aegon does not,
that was a crazy moment.
And he's like he's trying, and it's clear that he kind of understands it, but he can't speak it. And I feel like that was just such a brutal way of kind of undermining him and embarrassing
100%.
him.
That's crushing shit.
Like, it's just like, how can you even be king if you can't speak the language of the kings?
Well, because his whole identity is everything passed down to him. Like
he's like wearing Aegon the Conqueror's armor and doesn't
the crown and has his sword
yeah.
and has the dagger with the prophecy on it, and it was handed down to his father. But even though it wasn't supposed to be handed down to him, like it's kind of stolen. All of these things are given to him. He's never taken anything. That's why he takes the actions this episode that he does. Because he finally like tries to take it for himself. But just all of that, the entire identity being like, I am the king, and everything is handed down. Every symbol of power you have, even your name, is not something that you can own to yourself. It's something that was given to you as part of a plot from your grandfather to steal the throne from your sister, basically. So for all of that, for him to be able to wear that cloak of a different identity comfortably, or at least not comfortably, because it's been a struggle for him, obviously. But being confronted with Aemond, speaking High Valyrian to him, and then him not being able to speak back properly that's like such. It shatters his connection to like every other Valyrian heraldry that he has, and it's such a poignant like catalyst for this final confrontation. And Aemond, it's crazy because Aemond didn't get the killing blow on Aegon, but if he wasn't attacking, if he was on Aegon's side
and
here,
he could have easily saved him.
They could have teamed up, and
maybe not easily, but he could have tried.
If they worked together on this, if he included Aegon in his planning, and they did do this together, or he informed Aegon of this because they trusted each other, and then Aegon was like, "That's a great idea. I think you're gonna be successful. Do that shit," and then he doesn't go out. He doesn't die. Like
exactly.
It's just how everything is just getting fucking poisoned because of this I don't know, just the good fucking writing, honestly. And
it's the crazy thing of like, because it's like Aemond is clearly much more sophisticated in his battle planning and his strategy and just knowing how to be king. And if Aemond had made him Hand of the King, then things could have been a lot different, like, not saying that would have also, probably better than Kristen Cole, to be honest, and they were working together anyway, but just that's also part of it. It's like, if someone is going to be behind your back making big moves and making you look bad, you kind of might as well authorize it and then be responsible for all these big moves that succeed, If you can admit to yourself that, this other person is better at doing this part of your job. That's the whole point of the council, is that, he doesn't know stuff that a maester would know, so he has a maester on the council to tell him that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still like...
Yeah. It's just so... It's like it's really good, is what it is.
And the fact that as well, this episode, Rhaenys, like, with the whole scene with her coming up to Alan And
that was
like
incredible.
such a heartbreaking scene, especially because she dies and she's basically she's kind of and I feel like, you know, with the whole war looming and stuff, she kind of has that in mind. It's like both of her children are dead, one of her grandchildren is dead, the other one got sent away, and it's just like, you know, it's just like, hey, you have a bastard son, and that kind of breaks my heart on a personal level, but like, he's a good guy, and it's not his. It's like, I like her kind of mentality of like, she's mad at Corlys, but she's not taking that out on him. On Alan, she's like, he was just born and turned out to be a great guy. Kind of no thanks to you.
Yeah, I think there's multiple things with this scene. I really like it, and I also like, I mentioned Catelyn Stark, I like that it's not just another Jon Snow situation. It kind of mirrors that, obviously, but it's not, her feelings aren't the exact same, the whole situation isn't the exact same. I like, it just feels very conflicted, this like longing that she clearly has towards him as a, you know, a son that isn't hers, but also she sees her husband, and she probably, like I said, sees her own son who she thinks and is probably dead now. You know, just and that she's reflecting on everything, and that, you know, it's a shame that he couldn't have been born to them, and you know, it's any kind of bastardy is obviously a personal shame on their marriage. But it's like that, just the complexity of feelings there, because I just love that it's not as simple as, oh, you piece of shit. It's like the opposite, and I don't know. It's, and that she kind of is shitting on Corlys for not raising him up, you know, then not taking responsibility for him and not giving him the life that he deserves, because he's his bad, like, you know, he's still his blood, like, that she still has that strength of character to not blame Alan, and to actively be on the side of, you know, accept him. Like, it's shameful to keep him down and like hide him, because again, it goes back to their whole, like, Corlys' whole thing about the political ambition, where Corlys has like basically sacrificed their whole family at this point, including Rhaenys. At the end of the day, well, not Rhaenys, but like their entire family is dying to this conflict and Corlys' pursuit for political advancement over the last, 20 years or whatever, and both their kids are sacrificed, and many others, and so much loss, and it kind of goes back to that, because if Corlys accepts that he has a bastard and raises them and names them Velaryon, then it gets around that Corlys, this great master of ships, this great sailor, honorable Lord of the Tides, sea snake guy, this like great dude, has a bastard, and his marriage with Rhaenys is not so great, and it kind of it shames him, and it's a tarnish on his reputation. And Corlys obviously has care for Alan, but it's that Rhaenys sees that sort of, that guilt on him, or that desire to not be shamed, or that he's refusing to acknowledge him on a political level, on a public level. He'll he'll offer him opportunities on the ship, but he won't name him Velaryon because of the reputation, and that Rhaenys sees that, and just like how she's been saying, your political pursuits have led to the destruction of our family, she sees this, and there is that, again, that longing. It's just so, it's so, it's heartbreaking is what it is. It's really heartbreaking.
It's also the thing that I think before they were saying, like, he wasn't getting promoted as much as, like, maybe he should be.
Yeah.
And I think to, like, keep it on the down low, and she's just like, don't do that. That's shitty. And like that whole scene, and how she's grabbing him, and then Corlys just shows up, and it's just like,
oh boy. But it sucks, because it's like she clearly knew. It's just been an unspoken thing that they have not talked about. And we wondered that last episode, like, does she know? Is she gonna find out? Is it gonna be
It's
like
like
a
she
big
seems
thing?
like the kind of person that would know.
Well, and how would they not know? It's like they're on an island. Like, they've lived on this island for fucking decades. Like, there's no way that it would get past her that he has this, like, bastard child working in the docks. Like, he looks exactly like that's the point. It's great casting. He's supposed to look like him. But there's no way. It seems more like something that she's finally confronting him about after a long time of them just kind of keeping it on the down low because of their political aspirations or his political aspirations. And it's just heartbreaking all the way because it's sort of that what could have been, which is kind of similar to the Aegon Aemond type thing of like what could have been if they worked together, what could have been if they were more like Viserys and Daemon, or if there was, or even better than them, if the next generation actually bonded like that, even if they were usurping the throne, even if because they didn't at the end of the day choose it was a mistake by Alicent, but they're in this position where their lives are on the line. If, like, again, that whole thing, now that the deaths are really coming through, it's that feeling of what could have been is stronger than ever, and it's kind of persisted throughout the whole show because we know the future of what happens to all these houses. So anyway, it's so palpable, that longing, that like, and it's palpable for Alicent too, as she is drinking the moon tea and scouring all of the histories of House Targaryen, which I love as well, that she's checking the math on what Rhaenyra said and not just accepting it and accepting guilt. Of course she would try to study it, and Viserys would have all the histories that could be found,
But the thing is like, she's not gonna find anything, because the whole point is that, like, it was all secret.
But she could find more about the Valyrian Freehold. Like, Viserys knew more than even we as audience members with access to ancient knowledges of Valyria knew. Like, all the stuff about the Anagrion or whatever it was called. Like, he knew different buildings and parts of the Freehold and shit. So, like, she might find something that leads to confirm some kind of suspicion, or she might read about Torrhen Stark mealing to Aegon the Conqueror, and it being like, he knew that the dragons would kill everyone, but it's also like, there's suspicion that they had a super secret conversation, like these two have.
Yeah.
Which was very a lovely bit of acting, I think. It was such a well-written, well-acted scene that she's, like, being creepy, but also being very normal.
Yeah, she's just like
just kind of giving him shit.
Cook you something.
Like, she's a bastard, and he's a prince, like, walking around with a fucking ancient sword from the gods, like,
she's like, I'm kind of like a maester, the last guy ran off, like...
He's like, bastard, he's just like, I'm better if you get to know me. It's like...
It's, like,
you're
so
to the king
uncomfortable,
right
but,
now?
like, weirdly comedic at the same time.
And it's played so well.
Creepy.
Because, it brings out Daemon. I just love Daemon's character, how, I love in the series, and it's part of the reason why I love Dunk and Egg, is because I like when the, like, royals or people are in a position to disregard titles in a conversation and speak frankly. Like, whenever you get that opportunity in a scene, it's always so interesting.
It's interesting that his bed is, like, made out of a tree.
A weirwood tree, yeah.
And that's why, supposedly at least, he's having these visions, but then she just drugs him up and he's, like, hallucinating of his death. She's like, you need to get some sleep or else you can't,
it was
help out
medicine?
with anything. Yeah, it was like, here's some melatonin. It's really good.
It's really strong. Time release. It lasts about 3 weeks. Enjoy. Yeah.
And
I don't, when it was like a crushed red thing, I wonder if it is like a Jojen
or maybe
paste
it's
type
like
thing.
crushed weirwood, like
sap.
Yeah, sap or leaves or like bark or something.
Yeah.
Because like if he's having visions and it's from the laying in a bed made out of the trees, like eating it, I'm sure would just knock you right out.
I think it's ambiguous on purpose. I think that it's probably
and she's
that
like
at least
eating
a little
it,
bit.
so like maybe she's delusional and maybe she just eats tree sap.
I don't think it's delusion though, obviously.
No.
It's like magic, but it's like I like that they don't say what it is because it feeds into the Jojen paste theory, which I'm sure a lot of people thought of like I did, where Bran, when he's under there, I guess spoilers for Game of Thrones if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, and if you haven't read the later parts of the books, but fucking Bran eats, he falls asleep when they get to the three-eyed crow, and then he's underground, and then they're like, hey, eat this, and then he eats this like red paste, and there's all this imagery about like death and knives and moonlight and and twilight and all this weird death imagery. And Jojen, the guy he's been traveling with, is gone, and people theorize because Jojen was a green seer and a magic boy that Bran was being fed his brain, or at least a part of his body, mixed in with some weirwood sap, or just his brain in a paste, and they call it Jojen paste. So I think that that's partially maybe what's going on here. Maybe it's a green seer brain, or maybe it is just weirwood sap leaves mushed in together. But it's ambiguous, I think, on purpose to make you think, to conjure up that, because it's such a popular theory at this point. I think that it's the showrunners are doing that on purpose. Like, oh, what is this crazy shit? Is it just weird fruit, or is it, some other craziness? And he's having more like hallucinations and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, what, I feel like he just has to get out of here. Like,
He's gonna fucking die here.
I know, but it's like, is he even gonna, is he just gonna hallucinate and then sleepwalk off a cliff? It's like he's just getting so unstable.
What do you actually think is gonna happen? What's your actual prediction of what's gonna happen? Do you actually think he's gonna sleepwalk off a cliff? What do you think is gonna happen?
No. Well, maybe. He could, try and go, all the weirwood trees over there after I ate a bunch of them. I'm feeling this connection
What a
across
great
the water.
conclusion to his character arc. What do you think is going to happen to his character? I have a theory, is why I'm asking. I want you to say yours first. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, because, obviously Caraxes is there.
Yeah.
And is so cool, and I want to see it in a fight.
We're going to see it. Vagar versus Caraxes.
But, is Vagar just going to roll over there and attack him? Yeah, or would it be even crazier if something else happened and he Rhaenys has this honorable death on her dragon and goes out that way, but is he is something sketchier or weirder gonna happen to him? Is he not gonna get that moment? And also,
I think he will.
If Vagar stays away from too long, the other dragons could easily fly to King's Landing and do something, especially now that Aegon isn't there.
Yeah, so there's two things. I think that Daemon will have a few more hallucinations, and then Aegon will have a kind of reckoning with himself, and that's the point where he'll die in a battle on his dragon. I think. Or maybe it'll be some crazy fucking thing with that. Maybe there'll be some kind of twist to it. It won't be exactly the same, but it'll be probably a dragon fight. Caraxes maybe versus Vagar probably. And that'll be crazy. But that is the question, is if Vagar just killed Meleys, Sunfire's dead too.
Mm-hmm.
Vagar and then Dreamfire are the only dragons left on the green side. Helena's probably not going to fly Dreamfire.
I mean, they could strap her on there.
So,
but,
okay, my point, anyway. No Dreamfire, probably, because Helena's probably not going to fly Dreamfire. Vagar is it. So, they have Syrax and whatever, Bela's dragon. I forget the Bela's dragon's name. And that's it. And, Silverwing is...
Moon Dancer.
Moon Dancer? No,
Is that it? I don't know.
Something. Anyway, they have that, and they have Jace's drag, which I think might be Silverwing Moon Dancer. Anyway, whatever. And then there's a few unclaimed dragons. So my point is, Vagar and then those few dragons over there, what's stopping Vagar from at least just trying to collapse the castle on top of them? Vagar... I mean, Aemond wouldn't want to risk his life like that now that he's first in line to be king. But, what's the next move other than that?
Mm-hmm.
If there's a decent chance if I was Aemond that I'd just go there and try to fucking make some shit happen. Maybe Driftmark even. Not even go all the way to...
Just incapacitate them.
Just destroy their ships. Destroy their ship island with all their fucking ships. Kill Corlys, the master of ships, just fly over there before word gets there that Meleys is dead. While the wound's still fresh, just fly right over. It'll take a few hours, get there, burn that shit. But I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen like that. I think that Aemon's gonna be more cautious, which makes sense. Is playing with his life. But what I'm getting at is, if Vagar and Aemon's next objective is not gonna be fucking Harrenhal, there's no point.
Mm-hmm.
because, they have enough of a host now, unless most of them got burned in that battle, which is possible. We'll have to see what the numbers are there.
Mhm.
But if everybody's kind of locked into the Crown Lands at this point, Rhaenyra is locked over there too, and we all have all the coasts now. So what are they gonna do realistically? So what if you have Northerners coming down? Unless the Northerners just absolutely wreck fucking house
All the old
with
Night's
Riverrun.
Watch Northerners.
Yeah, like all of the Northern and Riverlands armies are just gonna crash through the Riverlands and help Harrenhal, and then that's gonna even it out because now all of the Greens forces are near the coast. Maybe that will help us out, but I don't know. I think it would just be so picturesque for a battle at Harrenhal to happen between these dragons. So I'm thinking from a show perspective, maybe the site will be there, but Daemon's probably going to die in his dragon. Probably going to be against Vhagar, because he's the only skilled enough dragon rider who I think could kill Aemond, and they've been building up this fight like it's a fucking anime battle, like over the course of the season. I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited for it. Now that we're getting into the battles part of it. It's like I like thinking about the map. I like thinking about all the different castles that are getting taken, all the different areas that it's like a game of Risk. It's very interesting, and it's fun to speculate about not knowing exactly where things go.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I still just can't get over how crazy that was.
You know what I can't get over? How stupid Rhaenyra is telling them that she went to King's
Yeah,
Landing.
I don't...
Like, what's the point? Like, okay. I think it's a show thing, again, to make Rhaenyra the heroic anime protagonist who's, like, all about friendship.
I'm just gonna say it one more time.
I am morally justified, and everyone will know it. Everyone will know that I'm morally justified. She's not even, taking it upon herself because she just needs everybody. And it might be a character thing too. I think it is partially, but it's also, I think, the show's attempt to make it easy to align with her and to empathize with her and to in a show that's all about morally gray people, having one person who is unimpeachably in the right, quote unquote, I think is their objective from a show perspective. And if that's the interpretation you go with, I don't like that. I'm willing to accept that it's the interpretation that she just wants everybody in the room to know she's good outside of a production standpoint. She wants everybody to know that she is the good guy in this, and that no matter what she does, to everyone, she's good, But I can't help but feel that it goes beyond a character thing and is cresting into we're showrunners and we want people to have somebody to cheer for without feeling bad, have an anchor point morally for people. Because there's the counterculture, people who are argue that the Greens are the right people or whatever. And if we're talking about the vague history aspect of this, where it's all we don't know the truth, then the argument could be made. But the way that the show is presenting all of this, it's so clearly supposed to be that Rhaenyra is the good guy, quote unquote, and they're trying to solidify that more and more to make her the Stark figure, because we always had the Starks, and the Starks were always the good guys, even if they did some questionable shit like feed people's children in pies. They were doing it out of revenge or out of some sort of righteousness. So I think that that's what the show's trying to do, is they're trying to make her, good. In terms of the series, it does make sense that she'd want people to think that she's good because she's about to do some bad things. So it's, it makes sense on a character level. But anyway, I don't like that she had to say that to everybody, that she couldn't just keep it in okay, I tried that, it didn't work, now I'm going to be a good leader. Instead, she has to all right, everyone, I know you've been telling me to fight, and you don't actually, most people in this room don't actually even care about, whether or not I'm in the moral authority in this. But I just want all of you to know that I did this really stupid thing that makes me look really stupid to you after all of you are doubting my, authority in this matter. But I made a really fucking dumbass move and put myself in danger. And
then I'm going to try to do it again.
I'm going to try to do it again, but you should all trust my judgment. It's if you want people to trust your judgment, you shouldn't tell them that your plan that didn't work failed. Why are you telling them that? It doesn't make sense. unless it's for a production thing. Anyway,
I liked the like sort of the we talk about parallels a lot, like between Rhaenyra and Alicent and a lot of different characters. But I thought it was interesting how we had in this episode we've been saying that his name's Jace, right?
Jace.
Yeah, we've been saying like Jace has been getting a little bit salty. He's been getting a little bit antsy.
He's really speaking up.
He just says it in front of everyone. But what I do like is that Rhaenyra, she acknowledges that and then kind of like okay, I understand the way you're feeling and now I'm going to tell you why I'm acting the way I am and I'm going to like let you in on the secret, and she kind of like regains control over him and soothes him and acknowledges his feelings, and you know, she understands how he's feeling, but she is able to re-solidify their relationship and in fact make it even stronger by letting him in on this. Meanwhile, Alicent, I think like the scene maybe directly after this, just gave up on Aegon and completely abandoned him. Like before, she has not,
learned from her mistakes.
Well, it's just like she has had such complicated feelings about him the entire time, and now that she knows that like he's not even supposed to be king, it's like okay, I don't really love you, and you're a shitty.
Does. It's
but
just
it's
that
like
it's more about her.
It's complicated, but I think it's just interesting the way that we have Jace, who was like, you know, getting antsy and like and publicly questioning his mother. You know, the fact that they've like mended their relationship, and here Alicent just completely destroyed everything, and she's gonna feel super fucking shitty as well now that he went out there and died too. You know, because as shitty as he was, it was still her son.
Yeah.
And this was the last
but how shitty will
she?
I wonder. It's like Alice. My favorite part of the season by far, has been Alicent's reaction to and the way that she chooses to have, everybody's been shit talking like, oh, the show's just showing her fucking Kristen Cole instead of showing us, you know, blood and cheese or, you know, whatever. Like everybody's been taking great pleasure in just shitting on Alicent, and I agree that she deserves some shit, but as far as like a writing, acting, drama aspect, Alicent is like by far the most interesting character to me, and it's not close. It's like because Olivia Cooke is playing her so well, but like this conversation with Aegon is so, like you said, the parallels. That's something that I wasn't really thinking about, but it's 100% true. The parallels as from motherhood. Especially now that she's learning, she probably didn't find out all the details about the Song of Ice and Fire, but she's been fucking scouring every tome on Targaryen history, trying to figure out what's going on. She probably knows something about it, especially after getting told by Rhaenyra. She has some keywords to put into Google, so to speak. Song of Ice and Fire, that's a really important phrase. But yeah, she doesn't reassure him. You know, he's grieving his son that got murdered in his bed, and she doesn't even, you know, give him a pat on the head. Like, and now he's like, he just feels powerless and is asking or is getting some counsel, and she just kind of shits on him because she feels responsible and she regrets going down this path now that she is confident that she's in the wrong. So she's projecting that on him, like you said in the episode. Like, if you were at least a great king, then it might be worth it. If you were at least a better, but she knows. And she said to Rhaenyra in the letter, like, Rhaenyra would be a better ruler, 100%. Yeah. So Alicent is rather, you know, I think that she internally is dealing with that responsibility of her actions. But and the way that she's dealing with that is just by straight up blaming Aegon for, you know, taking this position that he didn't even want in the first place. That she literally forced onto him. That she and her father forced onto him. And you know, there's along with that conversation, there's always, you know, everybody points out that Otto and everybody and the council were already planning to put Aegon on the throne, but you know, it wouldn't have gone. It probably wouldn't have gone the way it did if Alicent did not give them the cause to do that the night that he died. You know, it would have gone way different, and the optics would have been way different. If,
it would have been much more complicated and a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
Or maybe not, you know. But the point is, Alicent has to wrangle with that truth, and this scene of her just of her saying what needs to be said, as far as like, you're not a good king because you're not a good king, and you know, maybe listen and learn. But also the people like, but again, Alicent's like, maybe you should listen and learn to your counselors. I think that she's also saying, listen and learn from me, because I mean, she said that. She's like, I ruled the kingdom. I'm fucking awesome. I'm a good ruler.
She
myself.
also listened and learned, and that's why she was able to do that, because she like prepared for that in the same way that Aemond is like, he knows what to do even when he wasn't in the position of the king, because he had an interest in learning how to do that. You don't just automatically know how to make a battle plan. You study battles and pay attention. And
but all the people that Aegon would be listening and learning from are corrupt and trying to use him for their own gain. They're trying to like go along with this coup so that they can, you know, reap the spoils of war once it's all over.
It's exactly what she was saying. Why would you take these books out of here? If the people around you are corrupt, these books that your wise king father studied these books extensively and was a great king. So, but you move into his rooms and then immediately throw away all of the knowledge that was just there and available in a history. And I mean, like, the maesters, they write the history in the way that they want to write the history, but it's certainly...
Some of them are just Targaryen accounts and stuff, probably.
And it's certainly, they aren't trying to manipulate Aegon personally to doing what they want. You know, it's a textbook.
Yeah. The books themselves aren't out to get him. And yeah, I think that's what Alicent is, like, pissed off about too, is it's just like you're so disconnected. It's like... Now that she like is forced to see all of this, she's just like, I didn't realize just how disconnected you were from you know, everything. And he literally destroyed his father's legacy, figuratively and physically, like destroying the you know, all that shit. So I think that it's just she's seeing things in a way that she didn't want to before, but is now forced to, and just the way that she's reacting to it is really interesting. Oh, man. Fucking great episode. Holy. Was there anything we missed? The Laris conversation, basically him just kind of calling her out in general, and making her feel like shit. Daemon once again hallucinating. Yeah, I think that's it. It was a really good episode. Oh my god, it was a good episode.
It was it was so good. Like, the whole thing was so, and like the pacing, like everything about it was just so good. You know, like I feel like it's gonna be hard to top this, in just in terms of the way, like the whole thing. But I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I don't know how you follow this out. Is it just gonna be fucking craziness?
It's just game on.
It's
from
just
now,
game
it's
day
like,
until
the whole
the
thing
end of
is
the
like
season.
until then it's been like stalling, and then Rhaenyra's like, "Okay, it's time for action," and then now immediately the king is dead and Rhaenys is dead and 2 dragons are gone, and it's like you can't go back from that. And it's the, you know, it was the whole thing of like, oh, if you just have dragons fighting each other, then that's what we don't want. And it's like, okay, well, we literally have that instantly.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is this pose for him? Is he like putting his hand over his heart? Is this like him dying? Does he have a smile on his face? No, he doesn't. It kind of looks like it is from a different angle.
Did Aemond put him like that?
I don't think so. I think we saw him walking up. I think that's just how he died. But it's interesting seeing Aegon dying with honor like that.
Yeah,
like he looks like he looks
like if there's like on a
on a sarcophagus. Yeah. He looks like a dead conqueror. And so it's interesting how, despite all of his misdeeds and all the fucked up things that he's done, and the struggles he's had personally. In his death scene, you know, he's curled up in his dragon, in the Conqueror's armor, like in a sort of heroic pose, with his eyes closed, facing the sky. You know, it's just such a good way to end off his character arc, and Cole realizing that he just fucked up so bad.
Yeah.
Banger. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.